Welcome back to Creeper World 4 Alpha Tech Demo, and this is probably going to be my last video for the demo, at least for the foreseeable future, unless they add more content. We're going to go through the Easter eggs here, and we're just going to show off what the first couple of them do, and the last one's going to be more extended. I'm going to do these in order of how much impact they have on the level, from least to most. So, we're going to start with Farsight. Of course, is not really Farsight, and review the one that we've already seen there. So here we are with a nice good start, and Farsight, of course, is primarily about teaching you to build cannons, expand your tower network, and do some basic attacking against very limited creeper resistance. So far so good, and it wants us to come over here, which is where we learn about totems. But then, of course, we have this pyramid, which you're never told anything directly about, the spinning symbol there. And you've got this Liftic supply pod, which you'll eventually need to power the totems. But if you want, you can connect to it and get some anti-creeper out of it. You don't have to, it's totally optional, but it's there as possibility. So if you decide you want to do that, and I will just continue spamming cannons, I have a ridiculous amount. There we go, we can see the Liftic starting to flow. We've got our connections all the way around in both directions. And then it's going to come over here. And this will only operate for a limited amount of time. The reason is that it doesn't want to use up all the Liftic, otherwise you wouldn't be able to activate the totems. Let's go ahead and speed this up. Just take a look at the process, and I'm going to intentionally be passive here. And of course, I don't have to do any of this. I probably could have practically won the level already. Probably could have won the level already just by going here and activating the totems. But we could see that the anti-creeper is going to gradually expand. And there's enough of it that it will gradually win the fight in general, depending on how much you're helping it with your cannons over the or regular creeper on the map, but it's not going to dominate or anything. It's giving you a taste of the mechanic. Okay, I believe we're getting fairly close to it now. You can see we're covering this entire side in sort of this ghostly white, and more Liftic still continuing to come in. There's still quite a bit there, more than half of the original amount. And we've got, some battling going over here with the AC. It's starting to fill up this general area. But there's definitely more creeper on the map yet than anti-creeper. I think it's going to give it a few more doses here. Of course, we could simply overwhelm this anytime we wanted. But what fun would that be? I think this is the last set. There we go. It explodes to prevent it from sucking up all the Liftic. And so therein is our Easter egg for Farsight, or not Farsight, as the case may be. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay, this is Before Time. This is the original last level of the demo, before Day of Infamy was added. This is the one that added the creeper stashes. We've got the volcano explosion that happens eventually, and this whole canyon here. So, very interesting level, I thought. But the extra special part happens if you overbuild snipers. The exact amount, we're just going to throw them up here, that you need, snipers, not missile, is 21. And don't ask me why, because you wouldn't normally build 21 snipers in this level. So, I'm not sure the purpose of that. In terms of the trigger, it seems a bit excessive to me. But regardless, I'm going to build till I'm sure I have enough, maybe a few extra. Okay, so I think that's round 25. So if we zoom over here to our volcano, unpause, look at all that stuff flowing out. Isn't that lovely? Now, these are what is known as eggs. And we're just going to kind of let them do their thing. There we go. And then, of course, I'm going to come over here and destroy a bunch of these snipers because we're not going to need all of them. Some of them will get built. And I'll proceed with the normal build-up until we actually get to some of those eggs and can see what's going to happen. So we've taken control of the canyon here, and I'm just waiting for this. This is the last egg in the canyon. There's a ton more out here. But I just want to get this one to hatch, and to do that, you've got to clear out everything around it. Normally they would have hatched by now. Let's see if we can give it a little bit of encouragement. There we go. So that's what eggs do. They hatch and form a nice little mini stack of creeper. Although how big it is, I think, depends on what the settings the level designer has used. Now, we could go through and deal with all this before. We've done it before. It's overflowing the wall at times. We don't really care about that. But the main point is here is just going through all these eggs would just create, every time one hatches, another batch of creeper. And it just would turn this into an increased grind, which probably not all that interesting. So let's go visit the final Easter egg in the very first level of the demo. Okay, now prior to this point, everything is gone by the book in terms of the first mission, but this is about to become a quite difficult mission, probably on par with Day Infamy and harder than any of the other original demo missions. Because we're going to intentionally sabotage ourselves to trigger the alternate scenario. But for the moment, I'm just seeing the initial creeper attack, the very first encounter that this particular cycle of humanity had with it. You can see things blowing up. All sorts of buildings that we might otherwise be able to use to help us are having bad things happen to them. Okay, so now we need to relocate our cannons, but the first thing we're going to do here, we have to lose the Rift Lab in order for this to work. Because if we lose the Rift Lab, then we can have a trigger that we need. Otherwise, the mission will end as normal. So I'm moving it into the creeper right away, but I'm also leaving it connected here because I want to add more towers. Add a few there. I'm going to build a few just around here. Grab most of this area. Because we're using the energy for something. There is the idea. Maintaining that connection until the Rift Lab incinerates. And there it is. Now we pause. So, failure actually was an option and you took it. Welcome to an alternate reality, blah, 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 blah. You're unlocked cannons and mortars, but we're not going to need mortars. It's going to be mostly cannons. Some mortars later. And then rematerialize the Rift Lab, get to work. We need to fill the reclaim meter over here. And we haven't seen a reclaim victory. So that's one of the reasons why I want to carry this one all the way through. The other thing about this is we're set up with energy. We've got cannons, but not that many. Certainly not enough to stop the attack. So we're going to need to act quickly. This is another one of those where you're under pressure in terms of time. Now we're waiting for the energy to come back. It's in deficit. We're activating all the Soylent fields. Okay, now here we go. Things are going to blow up. See, these are going to blow up over here. We cannot save everything. And actually, I want you to come back this way. Alright, you're going to come out this way. You're going to come out this way. You're going to come out this way. And then we're going to build more. So we're gradually going to keep building cannons, and actually I think I might be able to go with a fourth one here. What we want to do is plug all the gaps, because the more towers that we save, the better off we're going to do in maintaining our energy. So let's throw one over here. Let's get another one out there. Let's see, let's throw one more over here. And now we should be fairly decent at maintaining what we have. I'm going to keep building some. Now the other thing is the inhibitor. I want to yank that back over here to use its tree building property to build trees in our Soylent. The other thing is, with the defensive setup I have, I can build up on here, and give me one. There we go. And that's just going to give us that little bit more territory that is going to be hugely valuable. I'm going to build more towers out that way. We're going to spread out here. And so it's a balance between expanding your energy. Oh, I lost one. Okay. Between expanding your energy and expanding your cannons up to a certain point, because obviously you don't want so many that you run out. Okay, and let's put you over here. I just want to make sure we're making use of the ones we have. And let's see, what did we lose over here? Oh, one of these buildings. That's fine. Not worried about you. You sit up over here, because this is shallow enough that you can really hit that well. Nope. You stay over here. You make sure that works well. You can see our energy, we can use a little bit more than what we have. And now I'm pretty confident we're secure. So the next thing is just gradually expand our territory. We're taking some hits here. This is a bit of a problem. Let's move a fourth cannon out this way. Don't mind doing that. We can throw another tower here. And you can see we're starting to have... If we can connect up to this and get there, that'll give us some nice new territory. So I think from roughly this point, it's just going to be a grind of expansion. And this is... I'm not a huge fan of the reclaim mechanic, the reclaim winning condition, in terms of, I just don't personally think it's enjoyable. I think it's worth showing it off here, but we don't... It's just not a lot of fun to me because of how time-consuming it is. So I'll totally understand if you want to skip parts of the video at this point. We're going to show the whole thing because it is, I think, worth doing, you know, on occasion. I can see it being useful as a change of pace. The numbers we're watching down here is the reclaim status. That's, you've got to get back a certain amount. It'll actually hit 100% before we hit the whole map. We don't have to clear out the whole map. We do have to clear out most of it. And you can see the creeper going up. It's actually not far away from its peak. I think its peak is around 60k or so, in terms of that being the most creeper that the map will hold before the emitters shut down. Okay, let's see. Let's throw you over here. And now we kind of want to be careful because we're pretty much even with what we're using and what we have coming in energy-wise. I'm just going to relocate the inhibitor, grow a few more trees. And if you're wondering just exactly how much those trees help, look up here. 0.33 of 0.34 of our 13 energy is coming from those. So it's a very small amount, usually just a few percent of your income, even if you have a lot of trees. But it's better than nothing. So we will take it. And then I do think it is very valuable just to try to have extra cannons now that we have a secure perimeter. We want to gradually expand where we're able, and also make use of any heights. One of the good things about this map is it is made for cannon use. By which I mean, it doesn't have huge drop-offs for most of it. Like, there's some areas like these peaks, but a lot of it is just smaller differences in terrain like these, which are what cannons excel at, being up on an edge and then shooting down to something slightly lower so the creeper can't get them. That's the kind of position where we really want our cannons to be. Okay, let's slide in over here. Then I just want to gradually move out. You can see our energy, again, pretty stable. Why not throw the inhibitor over there? And you can see 0.5, 0.52. So that is very slowly incrementing up. We'll just hop off there. Get these up maybe a little bit closer to the very edge. All right, let's see. Let's tower here, perhaps? I think this area over here is really where I want to push. Especially because I want to get up on this square. That's a good firing position, and I think we can actually get there now. Yeah. If I get up on there, I can clear a lot more of this out, and then we can start moving. Let's see. I think I can spare a third cannon over here. And let's see, maybe this way? Then we can sort of throw you up that way. Okay, now you're sitting pretty well over here. Let's move another one. And one of the things here is, if I don't have redundant... Oh, we're in deficit. We're just going to hold on. But if you don't have redundant cannons in an area, then you don't want to move all your cannons. Like, I wouldn't want to move all 4 of these at once. Just, it's useful, I think, to be a little bit cautious. And what I'm doing here is just only going to build a couple at a time. But we've got an energy deficit, so I'm just going to gradually build my way out of it. Our deficit's about half. We're only putting out about half what we need. That's enough to keep the cannons firing, but I would like to, move up my energy creation without expending a lot more to do it. Doesn't look like this is even needed. Let's move it there. Should be able to fit another tower here. If we move this over here, we can easily protect it. Okay. Yeah, let's put you on that corner. Hop you out here. You can hop maybe about there. Starting to clear off more of this plateau. And you can see the creeper is now starting to recede significantly. It was up around 60,000 almost. Now it's down to about 50, just over, and we're at about 20% reclaimed. So we've reclaimed a fifth of what we need to reclaim in order to win this map. You can see, obviously, for the first mission of the game, this is a rather tricky issue. Yeah, let's get right up on that. Although if you're just shooting the tiny bits that come off of it. Here, we get up there on the edge, we can clear out much more significant sections, I would think. Slide you up that way. Doing well over here. Let's see, let's have you that way. So I just sort of want to move around. And this over here is a nice ridgeline that I'm just going to let be. So I'm going to try to expand in other directions. If we come out this way, I'm just sort of painting it with towers. I don't even that much care if I am placing them super efficiently. Because if you look at we're starting to have a significant surplus now. We're definitely out of the deficit. And it's just a steady push. Put you over here on this edge. pull you out this way. Let's see, you can come over here. Let's have you help really clear out this area. We've got more room here. So we will tower up. And yeah, you're not needed this way. This is... Okay, I think you're up on a higher level there too. Let's see, taking some damage over here, but that's temporary. Energy's up to 18. You can see we're getting more than a full point now from our trees. So the gradual growing forest is helping. Oh, that was just a little down area there that we've now cleared out. Okay, so let's tower up. This is a good level to teach you how to use cannons effectively, that's for sure. You've got to be much better at it here than you do in Farsight. But once you get the handle of it, and again, the key part, of course, is that part at the beginning where you do not want... You've got to really balance your firepower to maintain the perimeter, and you don't want to run out of energy. Accomplish that, and you're looking good. So over in this area... I lost something. Lost a cannon. Right here. Okay, I got too close to this edge there. It's hard for them to shoot some of the parts over that. Let's see, let's gradually move out here. And you can see there's one emitter here as we press out. Nothing there, and one here. And the other thing that's interesting about this level is there's no nullifiers. So you cannot eliminate the emitters to make your job easier. I couldn't just make a beeline for this one or whatever, because I have no way of stopping it. Okay, so this over here, this is too steep of a drop-off, so our cannons really can't help there. This is probably a good time to throw up a couple mortars. Put one of them over in this area. And let's throw you right down there. Not actually over the edge, just close to it. Ah! Had some come up there, and we might lose this. Close to losing that tower, but I think we're going to keep it. Okay. Put you there, and you'll sort of fire over these areas. You're not needed. Let's relocate you over here. Okay, so we're now at a point where it's just like, which way do I want to expand? And I want to build up... I want to go out this way and out this way, where I've sort of split off and cut things in half. So I want to make sure that I'm getting extra firepower in those directions. Just over a third reclaimed. Down well under 40k. In terms of the total creeper on the map. Alright. And no pylons either, so it's just a grid of towers. There really is no other option here. So if I throw two more of these over here. Constant theme of building more cannons. I am going to throw in a couple more mortars to have them ready. But we have now a very nice surplus when I'm not building a ton of stuff. 22 being generated. I don't particularly need the additional energy, but it's nice to have all of this grid so that everything's connected well. So now we're easily pushing it back over this way, and we can see that this plateau, it's going to be a lot more area for us to grab. Let's see, we could throw you up there. I'm just going to leapfrog everybody up. And let's get up there, maybe. Yep, that'll reach. That'll do nicely as well. More towers. Let's see, let's get you up there. You can come back in this way. This is all pretty secure. And really all I'm doing here is just trying to grab whatever land I easily can grab. It's not any more complicated than that. As always, taking the high ground. Very much an advantageous approach. And of course, I don't care what the inhibitor does now. It's not important to me how much energy I have. I have more that I'm going to be able to use. Just want to keep everything moving forward. Let's put you up here, just to make sure if anything comes up over this way. Yeah, it's going to try. But it's taken care of. And you, I think I want you there. I think that's secure. Okay. Starting to get close to the halfway point. The creeper is going away still very slowly. Despite our advances over here. Of course, this is the only corner of the map. Back you up a bit. That does not have... Well, what's the word I'm looking for? Doesn't have an emitter. Yes, that word emitter is so complex. Let's just throw up a few more cannons in this area. Might need them. This is not great terrain, but I want to try to turn this corner and push maybe down into this area before I shift gears. It really doesn't matter which direction I focus on, but this is the one I'm going to do. So let's just throw fresh units up here, and of course, when you have this many, if you lose some, you don't really care. Alright, I'm going to sort of switch up the vantage point here. Just give myself a fresh look at the situation. I find it's easiest to control the action and see what's going on when I'm facing in the direction of my attack, like when that's up instead of down. Of course, I could always switch the view to more of a top-down view. I find this a little bit more pleasing. Oh, let's see. And we could continue this way. I'm just going to switch it up and start attacking from a different direction. But if we look at our numbers at the moment, we're well over half of the map now reclaimed that we need. If we take a look, we've got this area over here pretty much cut off now. I'm going to try to get into this. Let's dive down in here. Alright, let's throw... Oh, what did we lose? We lost something back this way? There's so many cannons there, I can't imagine us having any serious trouble. There, I think I'm going to want to do something around this. Let's start towering up. Now we can see there's a fairly significant, at least relatively speaking, height over here, and we need more towers forward. Yeah, let's get up there. A couple towers on that should be beneficial. Throw one up there. Okay, maybe... Yeah, let's be up on that. Just looking for all the high ground I can... No, I don't want all of you. All the high ground I can acquire. So I think we definitely want to swing around up here. Plenty of firepower, just a question of where to put it. Oh. Thankfully, there's lots more where that came from. See if we can hold those positions and really start cleaning this out. You're not doing a lot. You drop down here. Two-thirds now of the map. Slowly but surely pushing it back. Okay, now I want to get these mortars in here. I think I had a couple others. Well, I got one more over here. Just see how these three do against that emitter. Okay, those are coming up, so we will bring up our reserve. Whoops. Perhaps there. Let's push forward some over that. If I can hit the right spot. Over these directions as well. Towers up. And we've cleared out some more space over here that I really don't want to use yet. Looks like our mortars are having some trouble here, though. Let's throw up a couple more. So these are not super wimpy early game emitters. They've got a little bit of something to them. Meanwhile, almost 80% as we crawl towards our ultimate goal. Let's bring everybody up. Missed a connection here somewhere. Let's have some redundant ones. Yep, we've got a bit of an issue there, so... Oh, I think I want another one somewhere in there. And I think I just want to dump a bunch of them down there, because I might lose some, but we'll be good overall. There we go. Clearing it out. And let's see, how's our other emitter doing over here? Wow. Yeah, that's enough, but just barely. Okay. So, if we're dealing with this next one, let's throw up a bunch more mortars. Our energy grid does not even complain a little bit at that. So we've got a little bit of a depression here. The overall levels in this area going down fairly quickly. Yeah, it's a better area than the lower stuff down here. There goes another one. %. We're getting very close. Not a lot of places over there, but that one works. Look at it digging a hole. It's almost like a whirlpool effect there, and of course we lost it. Might lose that one too. Let's bring. Yep, we are. Okay. Trying to find places for these mortars a little bit closer. That can't hurt. Okay, yep, I put them in a crater is what I did, which, not the best decision. Let's see, let's throw you up there. Clear this off, work my way around the back. Oh, it's activating. We made it. There we can see all these towers around it. Activating their green light show. And there it goes. Success! Okay, so this is going to wrap up the demo material, at least for now. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you found these Easter eggs worth doing, even if the Reclaim mission might not have been worth seeing all the way through. And we'll be back with more Creeper World from the previous games, of course, and if there's any more demo missions, do those as well, along with the resuming of the other series. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you soon.